Hey guys!
Hi.
Hello.
Thanks for coming.
Hi. Hi, Jordan. Hi, Betty. Hi, Bronx River Art Center. Hi, Caitlin. Hi, Lance.
Hey everyone.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Patrick Earl. I'm the Director of Education at the Bronx Museum of the Arts. I'm really honored to be here with all of you. It's amazing to come together like this, to create community like this, to celebrate all of your work like this in this time is especially important, I think. And you know, this is your evening, artists, Teen Council, so I'm not going to take very much time. I just wanted to mention that, you know, Teen Council has been a really, really important program at the Bronx Museum for 15 years. And this exhibition has existed since 2011. So this has been around for a while. And I have to say that, you know, it moving to a virtual format this year was a challenge, but the Teen Council that's here today did an incredible job pivoting to the virtual format, but also I think taking advantage of what it had to offer and then getting so much amazing work that I think this might be one of the best exhibits we've ever had. And as a museum, we're honored to feature it on our website and promote it in every way we can. And it's a really vital part of our exhibition, you know, program this year. So thank you all very much and welcome to this reception. Nell, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Nell Klugman and I'm the Education Programs Manager. I didn't want to add much, but I do just want to thank Teen Council so much for all of their hard work. Edwin and Ingrid are two Teen Council educators, and also all of you. And if there are any teen artists who couldn't make it to the reception, we all and I really, really appreciate your artwork. Thank you for sharing it with us. We are so excited as a museum to be able to have it as part of our exhibit. Yeah, this has been a really challenging time for everyone, and I am really inspired by being able to see and share all of your artwork. I hope that you feel fulfilled by being able to share it on this platform. And really, since you're participating in this exhibit, you're participating in what museums are like right now at this time, at a time when so many museums are closed, so much stuff is online. I hope maybe an advantage of that is that this work in this exhibit gets to reach beyond just the audience who might have been able to see a physical exhibit. So thank you so much again.
I'll pass it back to Teen Council.
Hi, guys. So right now we're going to have the teens take turns. I'm Edwin again. I'm one of the facilitators. We're going to have the teens take over again. But what they're going to do is they're going to have a slideshow that's showing the artwork from the exhibition. And they'll make some remarks about it. So some artists had a statement that they had sent us. So they might be reading the statement, or they might we might have the artists come and speak a little bit about the work themselves if they choose to do so. Now that we have video, it's kind of nice that that's flexible for us in a way that wouldn't have been in the past. So take it away, guys.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Alvaro Acuna. I'm one of the Teen Council members here. And I just like to say welcome again, everyone. First off, I would like to say congratulations, everyone, for having your art submission accepted into the Bronx Museum's Teen Council exhibition this year. You have all come a long way with taking the risk of having to submit it to the application, and well, here you are, you made it. As you all may know, the name of this exhibition is called Reverse Reverse, Bring It Back, Bring It Back. Let's be honest, things have been hard right now. COVID-19 and other ongoing issues have had a negative addition to our day-to-day lives. And the Bronx Museum Teen Council wants to give you a break from modern life. Inspired by DJ Casper's notorious Cha-Cha Slide, the Bronx Museum announces its new digital exhibition, showcasing memories and images that celebrate the past 2 decades. The Bronx Museum Teen Council is bringing it back to the 2000s, so bring your tattoo chokers, fruit-flavored lip gloss, and iPods because it's going to be a time to remember. Join us on this epic time capsule exhibition led by the Bronx Museum of Art's Teen Council. So the 4 categories we have that we're going to discuss, that we're going to present is the coming of age, which is the first one, imaginary realm, pop culture, and spaces and places. We will now be proceeding to the coming of age category. And the first artwork we have is by Ishika Kathari, and the title of it is Drowning in High School. Drowning in High School 2020 expresses how overwhelmed high school students, like me, feel by their homework and the standardized tests they need to complete for school and to apply to college. The artwork critiques have competitive college process and school's interminable distribution of anxiety-prompting assignments and examinations to students. The piece relates to the exhibition theme as it represents my experience in school for the past 3 years. I just wanted to say that I can heavily relate to this artwork because I've had to do the same thing. A lot of us teen council members have also had to challenge through completing assignments, completing exams, studying for them, getting them done on time, and then having to do these applications for numerous different things. And I just wanted to ask a question for the artists, if they can say it or type it in the chat. What would you do afterwards? Like after you completed this stuff, would you celebrate or do anything specific? Like what would you do?
Is Ishika Kotari with us today?
Yes.
I'm here.
Welcome.
So the question was whether I would celebrate or after this exhibition.
No, the question is, what would you do after you completed like your assignments and college application? Would you do anything specific after you finished them? Like to get rid of that stress?
I think the main thing that like helps me from drowning, or I guess like helps bring relief, is art. So again, I would continue painting, continue drawing. And I hope that's something that for the artists is something that helps bring relief.
Great, thanks for sharing. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us about your artwork?
This pretty much covers it, but again, I hope this resonates with many high schoolers. Actually, it's very unfortunate, and I hope this gets addressed, but at the same time, it's something that still that resonates with me even with COVID-19. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thanks so much for sharing.
There are also questions that are being asked in the chat. So for those who want to ask questions in the chat, and the artists as well, you can also engage in the chat and answer those questions if you want. Thank you.
So Ashley had asked, how was the process and how long did it take?
I actually did this art piece as a part of an independent study on murals and the connection between activism. So I spent a semester on it.
Great, thank you so much. So I think we're ready to look at the next work now.
Yep, thank you so much.
So the next artwork is called The Koi by Jordan Ganka. And Jordan states, "Koi fish bring back memories of my trip back to China last year to adopt my little sister. We would see many koi fish from our hotel to different outings." By the way, you guys, I'm Ariana. I'm also from Teen Council. Sorry I didn't introduce myself prior to this. But thank you, Jordan, for sharing this beautiful artwork. Is there anything else you would like to add to your statement?
Well, also while I was painting it, it also brought back memories when I was adopted. At the hotel, there is, in the lobby, there is a pool of koi fish where you could sit. There's like a lounge where you could sit and watch the koi fish. So it brought back memories.
I have a question for you, Jordan. So with the three, like with the way you painted the three fish, was those like your three top favorite designs, or were there other like fish that look different?
There's a lot of fish that did look different. But in my painting, I brought out those that touched me to my heart.
That's very sweet.
That's a beautiful way to put it. Thanks.
Jill Marie Rod said, "That's beautiful," as a comment to the painting.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to look at the next work.
Actually, Ashley asked if could the koi fish represent your family?
What were you thinking? Well, when I was painting, what I was thinking was mostly I was focusing about the time when I went to China and also how I'm gonna paint the fish. And I didn't want them to be like basic. I wanted them to be unique and stand out, not just like straight line.
It didn't represent family.
I wouldn't say like recommended family, probably like the time when I went to China.
Someone else asked, what did you use to paint this?
I used acrylic.
Okay, thank you. I'll be passing it to Danny to present the next artwork.
Okay, so hi everyone, my name is Danny. Unfortunately, I have a problem with my camera, so I won't be able to show myself, but this artwork is by Leandra Hall called Quarantine. It reads, my grandmother was a big part of my life growing up. During quarantine, she's a big comfort as she was a safe place to be brought to when I was very young. And personally, what I like about this artwork is I feel like we all have that image in our head of like a family member sitting on the couch, like just chilling while you're like getting a snack or anything. I feel like I could really relate to this artwork. It reminds me of my past a lot. So that's why I really liked it. But Leandra, if you're here, is there anything that you would like to add to your artwork?
I don't know that Leandra's here. Does anyone else have a comment they'd like to share?
Like how it was done, it looks like almost like treated like it's like I'm there.
Good afternoon. My name is Betty Bonet.
Hi.
I'm actually here giving support to one of my scholars. I'm a science teacher, and one of my scholars is one of the artists. But I just love the colors on this painting. The colors speak to me, and with the quarantine being so sad, the colors make me feel comforted and brings me alive. Oh, you know, I feel alive even though some of us are feeling really isolated. The colors make me feel alive. So I like the colors. Yeah.
That's pretty wholesome.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Hi, Laura. This is your student's work. The chat.
Hi, I'm the teacher. I just wanted to say, like, when she submitted this for a sketchbook assignment in remote learning, I was so impressed with it. And it just had such a deep meaning because I knew how much it meant to her to be with her grandmother, and I encouraged her to submit it to this exhibit. So I'm sorry she's not here right now, but I'm so proud of her because it's so beautiful.
Thanks for sharing that with us.
Also, thank you for coming out to the exhibition and supporting her and these other artists.
I've got a few students on here, and one of them invited me, and I love working with the Bronx Museum, so I'm happy to be here.
Happy to have you. Thanks.
Keep sending them.
I will.
So yeah, if that's everything, I think I'm gonna pass it on to the next piece of artwork.
I'll take over this one. This one is called The Colors of Beauty, created by Kayla Johnson. Her description states that Colors of Beauty is a surreal portrait that was based on my imagination and how I see the world and how I saw the world as bright and as colorful as possible, where everyone is free to express themselves through the art of colors. The purple here represents our new era, where we could wear our hair in any color now and not just the regular norm. I'm a big fan of the colors here. I think they did a fantastic job. If Kayla is here right now, if you want to add a bit more to your description.
I actually did that during an art class that I had in the Brack Center, and we were doing surrealist art. So I just thought of putting myself around happy and like rainbow colors because I like the rainbow.
Oh.
Can I just also add, my name is Miss Betty Bonet. I am Kayla's science teacher. She invited me to this, and Kayla, the painting is you. The way you brighten up my day, looking at this painting, it brightens my day again. So I miss seeing you in person on a regular, but thank you for the painting and thank you for inviting us. Thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, that's Kayla's artwork. We can move on to the next one, which I'll also be taking over. All right. So this one is by Levi. This one is called Levi, again by Kayla Johnson. Levi is my own fictional character that I created about 2 years ago, and Levi has changed throughout the years. And this is who he is now for the month of April 2020. He has evolved and is more colorful to adapt to the changing times. I draw him every month. Jeez, that is really nice. I'm actually a big fan of your art style. I'm curious, did you have any inspirations for it?
No, not really. I was just drawing someone, and then I just thought of him like 2 years ago, and I continued drawing him like around like each month or around 2 months, and that was like the latest one. And I was just drawing, and I was just messing with the colors and stuff.
I think it came out really nice, like how the colors overlap each other. It makes it really interesting. I'm honestly blown away. So
thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
The media that I used was alcohol markers and ink pens, and that's really it.
I'm honestly gonna take a note of that right now.
Oh, and a color pencil too.
You use alcohol, you said?
Alcohol markers.
Alcohol markers.
Yeah, alcohol-based markers, yeah.
Got it.
Nice. Yeah, this
Hi.
is really
Sorry. Hi, this is Mrs. Parsi. I am Kate's principal, and I am really excited to be here and to celebrate her success in her work. I've been blown away by all of the different creative work of art that has been shared thus far. I just continue to celebrate each and every one of you. Of course, Kayla, you know, your school's standing behind you, and continue to be creative and to live in this space where the sky's the limit for you and you continue to rise up. Very, very excited for you.
Thank you.
You know, definitely skills alone, I can see you going pretty far in art if you choose to continue going. But yeah, great. Thanks for sharing. I'm going to be passing it on to Erica to showcase our next artwork. Take it away.
Hi, my name is Erica. I'm also part of the Teen Council. So this is by Samara Bornex. Sorry, I cannot, like the names I butcher. I'm so sorry. But her title is Being Happier. Sammy, would you like to talk more about it?
Hi again. So earlier I was Sammy, now I'm Samiria. So I'm gonna just quickly read what I wrote on my art piece and then kind of, I guess, give like another quick summary. For just in case anyone that can't see it, but it says, every holiday was made to be cherished with family and food. Since my mom walks above the earth, I remember her. Oh my, a text in the way. Sorry, I remember her through the eyes of Betty Boop. So basically, in the beginning, I was just honestly thinking of drawing a character, but then I definitely knew that that would have no meaning. So then out of nowhere, I kind of got a spark and thought of my mom, and I was like, okay, who's my mom's favorite character? And I drew Betty Boop. Luckily, I was able to succeed with this because it took me a lot. I used a bit of acrylic, and then maybe some watercolor for the background, and then just like some micron pens to write out the text. And that's all.
Thank you. I really like the colors in the background. It makes her stand out, which is really, I really like it. And I like how you barely left any like negative white space. I really like that. Does anyone have questions for Sammy? Okay.
Yeah, I just want to add that it's a pretty solid art piece. Just the stripes in the background, it really makes the Betty Boop pop out a lot more. Plus the words are pretty nicely put, so Thanks.
Yeah,
And I
I was
guess
gonna ask. Oh, you go, Sam.
Sharing.
no, okay, you can add. I was just gonna say something quick, but you can go.
I don't know. I was just gonna ask if the stripes symbolize anything, like the color patterns that you use.
Thank you for asking. I forgot to bring up so in the part where I bring up holidays, I kind of use the colors to represent holidays. So like as you can probably tell, on the top right is Christmas, the left is Valentine, and no, the left is Easter and the bottom is Valentine.
Mm.
And I guess just to acknowledge everyone that has been at least like typing their comments, I would like to thank you for taking time to type it, since you know you won't be using your voices.
All right, thank you, Sammy, for sharing. The person I like to pass it on to is Lizette.
Hi, I'm just another member of the teen council. So the name I have here is called Soft by Devon Longley. I would like to say it's a unique piece of art. I like the background, how just his characters front and center. Unfortunately, we don't see Devon here. So is there anything you guys would like to say or comment about the wonderful art piece here?
And I want to say something. I remember when he was talking about his art piece, because he's also a member of the teen council. He was talking about how the pages, like, is him going back through time through the pages. So, like, how we have, like, probably some of us have like a photo journal, kind of like we look back on things and stuff like that. So that was kind of his like perspective. I mean, I'm just speaking because that's what I kind of remember. But I really love the way he like put like the galaxy in the back and like the light shines on the character. Yeah.
And people are asking about the media. I think we know that it was created digitally, but I don't know that anyone knows exactly what software or app was used to make it.
He used I remember he told me he used Photoshop.
Nice. Thanks for the info, Alvar.
Yep.
All right. I'll be passing on to Sammy.
Hello again. So this is titled Younger by Caitlin Russo. She wrote, "Younger is about my siblings. I am the youngest of 4. And when I created this portrait of my 3 older siblings, I was thinking about how my life is different now that they have all left home to start college, find jobs, and move on with their lives." Just to add a quick comment, I definitely like this piece because I have my own older siblings. One is in Georgia and one is living with me. And soon enough, even though this whole COVID thing is going on, when things cool down, me and my sister are soon enough gonna have to move out. So I can definitely relate to this a lot. If anyone would like to add any other comments, please do.
I would just like to say that I relate to it a lot too, because I'm the youngest of 5 and I'm the only one left in the nest. So I definitely think it's really sweet how you kind of paid this homage to your older siblings, and I'm sure they were like very proud of it when you showed them, or if they have seen it yet. I really like how realistic it looks, and the background is very bright. I like the contrast, but I'm also curious if Caitlin is here. Like, why did you choose I'm assuming it's pencil, to draw them with pencil and then color the background yellow.
Hi. It's actually charcoal and sun pencil, and I just wanted, my favorite color is yellow, and I wanted like them all to be connected and maybe have like a little bit of like a part of me in the background. Kind of what I was thinking when I did that.
Well, in my part, I just want to apologize because I thought you weren't here, Caitlin, but thank you, Ariana, for, checking to see if she was here. And I'm happy that, you actually said something for your art piece.
Thank you.
So now Now I'll be passing it back around to Alvar.
All right, so this next artwork we have is called Continuum by Amaya Tavares. And continuum created in Photoshop represents my interpretation of the word continuum. When I think of this word, I imagine a timeline expanding my infinitely in both directions. I believe that my digital collage about time reflects my experiences, memories of, and nostalgias of the last 2 decades very well. My image illustrates images that I feel represent my past, present, and future. Everything from a self-portrait, people, and books I love, symbols of time, and symbols of my interests and personal values are included in the image. First off, I'd like to say that this image is really nice. I think a collage is probably one of the best ways to represent multiple things at once in one image. So she has a lot of things that she decided to include. And if Amaya is here, I don't know if you'd like to say anything about your artwork or go further in detail.
Hi, I'm here. Well, this was actually for a project at my school where they kind of just gave us a random word and we had to kind of do something with that. And so for some reason, just like thinking about time made me think of space because of how infinite it is. And I thought that thinking about time, I should include things from my childhood, my present, and pictures of my family and close friends, and even some books that have really influenced my life. And there's 2 different Picasso paintings in the background too, because I really like his work. And even though I'm not much of a painter, I've tried to kind of incorporate part of his style into different things that I do.
Thank you so much. So now we're going to move on to the next art piece in this category, which is the last one as well. And we're going to pass it around to Ariana.
Ariana, you're muted.
Sorry. This artwork is called All These Words Taken From My Mouth by Anissa Razak. And the artist statement states, this artwork is about the reminiscence of our teenage years and stories we find embarrassing. I made this artwork based on personal experiences with boys during middle school. I feel like it relates to the exhibition theme because it is an artwork reflecting on the past and there is much nostalgia surrounding our time as kids. I think it's a really nice artwork. I love how you include aspects that are outside of just the canvas. I really, really appreciate that. Anissa, if you're here, do you want to add anything? Or does anyone have any questions or comments they would like to say upon the artwork?
I really wish she, it looks like I had braces when I was in middle school, so I can relate to like I think those are braces. So it's like really, really cool. I want to know like mostly the significance about like the what's it called, the metal like each other. So it seems like really, really cool. But I really like the color she used. It's very, it pops out. Really cool.
Is that that's a string hanging between their mouth?
Yeah, that's what I was going to comment on that too. You can't see it very well in the presentation, but they're like 2 strings that connect them to each other through their braces, which is like really cool as well. I wish the person was there to see like how did they put the string onto the painting? Like, did they glue it? Yeah, this is really cool.
Okay, well, if that's all, then we will be moving on to the next artwork.
I think it's the next category too.
Next category, yes, Imaginary Realm.
Take it away, Danny.
Okay, hey everyone, it's Danny again. So this is by the same artist as the last painting. So it's called All These Words Taken from My Mouth. And it reads, "This artwork is about the reminiscence of our teenage years and stories we find embarrassing. I made this work based on personal experiences with boys during middle school. I feel like it relates to the exposition theme because it is an artwork reflecting on the past, and there's much nostalgia surrounding our time as kids." I really like this painting. I feel like I could be wrong, but I feel like before Disney movies, there's like that little thing that they play, and this is like the Disney castle. But I feel like it's kind of like no.
Hey, Danny, I think that was there was a little caption mix-up. So this is again, this is the first piece in this category, but the text is from the last work. So if nobody has it, I have it open.
Okay.
So I can just read that.
Thanks,
so this,
Mel.
Yep. So this is actually by Idiana Isaac. It's called Midnight Wonders, and this caption and the title are right in the exhibition itself. So this piece of art is called Midnight Wonders. My main inspiration for this piece was that I was always fond of castles, especially Disney castles. When creating this piece, I envisioned it being in the midnight-like sky to make the mood of it more calm and relaxing. I decided to add stars in the background to make it feel more magical and give the picture a sense of wonder. Even though it is dark outside, the inside of the castle still seems to be wide awake, judging by the bright lights that are still on inside. With this in mind, it makes people wonder what could be happening inside the castle that would keep people up and wide awake when it's around midnight. I knew that I wanted the castle to be the main piece of this art, so I made sure that it was big and it took up most of the space on the canvas and made it in the center. I added clouds as well so that there wouldn't be the castle alone, and also the clouds will give it a dreamlike feeling that will make this piece seem like it is part of a dream. When it came to the background, I used watercolors to make sure that the background colors that I wanted to use blended in nicely. The overall theme of this art is to give a sense of magic and curiosity. So I'm not sure if Idiana is here. I don't see her alphabetically. Is she one of your students? Yes. Okay. Do you want to say?
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to say. So as I wrote in the chat, this piece was a black paper cutout. So it was actually made with an X-Acto knife. And any of my other students on here know the project. That's one of the projects in my class. And so she had to layer it, and she was very, very interested in nostalgia. She had made this piece in the fall. This wasn't created for this exhibit, but I had suggested that she enter this piece because I thought it was really captivating, and it spoke to a wide audience because it has sort of an iconic looking, fairy tale like quality about it.
Really, I'm curious. What was your process? I'm saying things that I'm not familiar with the process.
I'm sorry. What's that? I couldn't really understand the question.
I'm sorry. I'll type it in chat. I'm sorry.
Type it in the chat. That's okay, and then I'll read it out loud.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he was asking like what was the process of making this artwork?
Okay, yes, so it's basically two layers. So the top layer was a black piece of paper, and the students put a design on there through many steps of working it out and laying it out on some scrap paper first, and then it was cut out with an X-Acto knife. And so where you see color, that's actually holes that are in the black paper. And then we do a process where we layer the paper together, right? And so on the one under it, we figure out where to put the lines to make sure it all registers correctly. And then the watercolor is a separate layer, and then they're rubber cemented together. So that's the
I can see it now. I couldn't tell it was two separate pieces of paper, but geez, I gotta learn how to do that. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
So sorry about the mix-up, but if we could move on to the next piece of artwork.
There's a question. How does Anissa feel about having two of their works here? I know Anissa's not here, but Laura, did you have a conversation about that?
Well, it's actually not the same student. Anissa was the one in the other thing, and then this was a misprint, so this other student is Idiana. So they're not the same student.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that.
Anissa actually, I believe, does have two pieces in the exhibition, but we'll wait until the next one comes up.
Okay.
Devin.
Yeah, 1 second, I'll take over. All right, so this one is titled Red Dress, One Room. It was by Jordan Ganka. In the description, he says, people would explore abandoned buildings, going towards and go. And in these old abandoned buildings where many children have played, their spirits still linger. In the past 2 decades, many people always love to explore and they learn the history and stories of what was behind these abandoned places. Personally, I think this is a pretty unsettling, equally as interesting. If you are here, Jordan, could you just elaborate on how got it to look so scary?
Well, some of it, with the tree roots going into the room, that kind of reminded me also of Stranger Things. So I got that idea. But the buildings, just like came to me because when I was little, I would always love YouTubing, ghost hunting and buildings. I was that one weird kid that just loved all that stuff. So it really brought back memories. And then the red dress, the girl in the red dress just brought it out, like stood out. And
Yeah,
the floating
sorry, go ahead.
bed are like the children, the ghosts, the children's spirits. Yeah.
Almost reminds me of paranormal activity. I'd say both her dress and the flowers really pop out. Are the ones coming from outside the window supposed to be different? Like, does it have a different meaning? Because I do see the flowers.
Yeah, the flowers are also that there's also beauty behind the darkness.
I guess I'll ask my question.
Thanks for sharing. We can pass it on if there's any questions. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess I'll just ask my question real fast. Which is, since you sound like you were kind of like guessing around with the kind of color of the dress, did you automatically just like choose red first, or did you try other things?
I chose red first because red also symbolizes as beauty, but also danger. So I added that in.
That sounds really smart. Thank you for answering my question.
You're welcome.
Thanks for sharing. I apologize for any hiccups on my part. The internet isn't really that good right now. But if those are all the questions, you might be ready to move on.
Okay, so hi, Eric, I'm back again. So Letters to God, Lauren Makoff. This piece is about the process of figuring out who you are. I made it when I was living alone for the first time in Arizona and going to flight school. It was quite similar to social isolation in that I had a lot of time to reflect on who I was. This wasn't always easy or comfortable, but I always had the beautiful purple and pink hues of the desert, sunrise, and sunset. So I really love the words around this piece. It's very like it makes you like get attracted to the art piece. Lauren, if you're here, want to speak more about your art piece?
I don't know if Lauren is here right now.
Does anyone else have something to say about the art piece?
It's very pretty. I like the petals underneath the face. I wish she was here to elaborate on it, but still a nice painting nevertheless.
Someone asks, what media is it? I don't know.
You have the info?
I think it could be like mixed media, right? Like there's some kind of like carton that says non-toxic. It looks like there's like magazine clips, and then it looks like watercolor in the background against stretched canvas, possibly. And the stars look like glitter.
Yeah, I'm just looking at her original submission, and she just said mixed media. So yeah, it looks like some sort of a collage to me.
Okay, if somebody else has something to say, I'll pass it on to Lizette.
back and with a wonderful painting. Wow, submission. It's called Love in the Time of Corona by Hayden Gladys. The artwork is about relationships in the time of the coronavirus. Now that we are in a pandemic, all the relationships are cut, and in a sense, we are all single because we are alone. My submission relates to the exposition in two ways. It represents my years of budding romantically in the past decade, and it also represents the recent strains of the coronavirus. Um, this submission is really colorful. It really speaks to us during a time like this. Unfortunately, we never expected this to happen to us, but the fact that it's very colorful and we don't think of much of it is what brightens up it. If Hayden is here, would you like to speak upon your submission?
Hi, yeah, I am here. So yeah, I created this piece actually among creating artwork for my AP, so it was a very nice break from sticking to my subject. I created this digitally. I started out with a sketch and then I uploaded it onto my iPad and created it on Procreate. I actually created a few digital pieces like this, and these started out as two separate pieces, and I joined them together in the end because I thought they juxtaposed really nicely. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask.
How long did it take you to do this? Like, this is really beautiful. I'm really sorry. Like, it's really beautiful. I like it how you express yourself through this.
Thank you. I think each one took me like 2 days, because it took some time to like think out what I was going to draw, which I did on paper. And then the digital part was a lot quicker, but it takes a while to get the lines the way you want them. It takes a lot of erasing and going back and reworking things.
We have one question in the chat where Devin is asking, what was the idea behind the amputated hands at the bottom right of your piece?
It's actually really funny because that's like the one thing in my piece that I feel like I didn't have much meaning to, and someone else asked me about this. I really hate drawing hands, and I thought it would be cool to just have like the hands cut off in the bottom and both in the same place at least.
Ashmel asks, what is the meaning of the Chinese food?
It's my favorite takeout food.
I have a question. Sorry. So why is like everyone, like, you know, I feel like in a lot of art pieces, everyone's like very like the society makes like everyone like skinny and everything. Like, yeah, everyone is like a bit different body like type. Like, how come you like included that in your art piece?
Well, coming from my perspective, I've never been like the stick model figure that, I don't know, that I guess society depicts in art. So I guess this is kind of like, I never really like to draw like skinny figures because I feel like it's more representative of who I am to draw people a little bit bigger. And I feel like just it represents how, I mean, I've been able to have like relationships with people, even though I'm not like what the world's like depiction of like a perfect girl or perfect woman is.
Thank you. I really like it. Thank you.
I love that. And I also just love the proportions and the way that you drew the body. I think, like, I don't know, I'm just really attracted to like the little small head compared to a larger body. I think it's very interesting to look at. The composition of it all is really nice.
Thank you so much.
Jasmine Wall said, I love these figures. What a great way to shift the expectation of bodies in art.
Thank you.
If that is all, we would like to thank Hayden for her submission. I'll be moving on. Sammy, take it over, please.
Okay, so next piece is called Past Obscurities by Nisa Razak. I apologize for saying that wrong or anything. So it says, this artwork is about my summers as a child. Oftentimes I would be laying around in my house and imagining parts of the room shifting and changing. I was constantly using my imagination to make up for the time I didn't spend outdoors. Now that we are all home, all I can think about is those times as a child where things weren't so complicated and being home wasn't much as a burden as it feels now. I try to mimic these memories and think about being a far away places whilst being in quarantine at home. So my small comment for this is that I definitely like all the shadings that were there, to be honest, and I don't mean this in any disrespect, but I thought she didn't have a head, the girl on the bed, until I actually observed it, which I actually kind of liked because it made me want to actually pay attention to what the artwork was showing. And I also agree with all these things about, appreciating being outside and not wanting to be home so much. But if she is here, please, make a comment or add anything you would like.
I think Anissa is still not here at the moment. So this is her second piece. She also created the all the words coming from my mouth piece. We have Hannah says the shading and perspective is exquisite. I do think it's really interesting because we have seen two pieces by this artist that they're very different. The other one had some interesting use of color, and this one is in black and white. Some people are asking if there's any meaning behind the baby in the drawer, but the artist is not here, so we'll have to answer it for ourselves.
I mean, when we were as Teen Council, as a collective, when we were choosing artworks for the exhibition, I remember Ingrid. She gave us like a realistic reason as to why the baby was in the closet. Ingrid, do you want to speak on that?
I think Edwin did, but
you could. That's okay. You could take it away, Ingrid.
Yes, if I remember correctly. Thank you, Ariana. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. Hello, everyone. My name is Ingrid, and I'm one of the educators for Teen Council. When we were discussing the piece, we also had the question of why is there a baby in the drawer? And we had the very rational logic of sometimes when folks didn't have a crib to put a physical crib to put their baby in, they would put them in the drawer, and it would act as a crib. And then we also said, why not put the baby in the other drawers? And because of gravity, you want to make sure that the baby's at the bottom drawer so that the drawer itself doesn't topple over. So there are a lot of logic things behind this, and we could only speculate, but that's our speculative interpretation of the artist's work.
And I guess that's just our way of kind of answering your question. But I guess now we can move on. And before we do, I just want to apologize for everyone for forgetting that this is her second piece. But now I'll be passing it right back to Alvar.
All right, so this next piece is The Forest is Alive by Caitlin Russo. When I made this piece, I was looking back on the fear I had as a child because of my imagination. I would stare at the illustrations in my favorite picture books and fantasize about the creatures that were hidden behind each tree, in the budding bushes and under the water. The reason I was reminded of this time in my childhood and inspired to make this piece was because I had recently read an article about how trees are able to communicate with each other through their roots. First off, I just want to say this one is really nice. You can't really distinct what's going on, but just all the mixture of color makes it really good. Especially that blue in the background at the top. It's kind of sneaky, but still visible. And yeah, now it's open for any comments, or if Caitlin is here, would you like to say anything about it?
I think my comment kind of explains it, but thank you for including it. If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Well, Denise Williams says, this is breathtaking. The color and detail is soothing. And Danny says, the more you look at it, the prettier it gets.
Thank you so much.
Oh, one question from Devin. I'm curious, could you elaborate on what you read in that article?
Yeah, I can't completely remember it. I can find it and actually send it in the link, but it was about how like species of trees know how to like repopulate and where to send their seeds or something along those lines, because they send these signals through their roots. And it's like, I never knew trees communicated in that way, I guess. But I can try to find it and send it in the chat if anyone would be interested.
That would be nice.
Great, thank you, Caitlin.
All right, now we can move on, and I will be passing it to Lisette.
Okay, well, I'll just read this one. It says, the title of it is No Signal by Amari Ellison. And the artist statement states, my artwork is about how the people of today are constantly on their phones and always looking at some sort of screen. And I believe someday in the future, people will have TVs or computers for heads. Before the internet was created, people would talk face to face and go outside to see what the world has to offer instead of looking down on their phones or being isolated indoors playing video games. I really, really like this, and I also have similar views as Amari does, but I also think it's a very important piece, especially now during this time when we're all kind of just stuck at home and isolated. It says a lot about society and the way we work. But if Amari is here and they want to add anything, or if anyone has any questions, comments, please do so.
Hi. Unfortunately, my camera is not really working right now, so I can't really show my face. But with this piece, it's kind of like same thing with like a black paper cutout thing, and it's kind of, it was also like a little project thing we're working on. And with this, I was kind of looking for more of like a little creepy thing going on, aesthetic with or a little like weird aesthetic going on with it, because I always liked having like a creepy aesthetic with all my art. For this one, for like a TV head, it's more of like a real life thing going on. So I thought to myself, if there was like a thing that's going on today and need to put it in a piece, what would it be? I thought like TV heads, because people today are like more on like attached to their screens than actual people. So mostly it was just me just trying to make a little weird project. It's like going by the meaning of it, but like now that I look at it more, I think it's like it has a good meaning with it, with the TV head. So I'm ready to answer any question that you may have, so I won't continue on rambling.
There are some comments. I have not seen a question yet, but Ashley says, I agree with Amari. I think sometimes the media is beneficial, but other times communication face-to-face is always better, not talking behind the screen.
Thank you.
Yes, lots of compliments in the
All
chat.
are like loose and people were touching them. It's up to you.
Any questions for the artist?
I have a question. I guess like to figure out the scaling of this, the bottom part where you can actually see the color for like the question mark and the heart and exclamation mark, is that actually also part of your drawing? Like how is that added, or how did you add it?
Well, with that part, I feel like it was more of like, you know how like emojis and how like on texts, like a heart can be for like a like or something like that. It can also mean like a little bit anything like on your phone, like question marks and exclamation points. So really, and the outside frame is kind of, it acts like a phone. So you have the power button in the middle. So.
Oh, so it's like all together.
Yeah, and like the black strands are as like wires connected to that phone frame.
Thank you. I was wondering, how did you do the, you said it was a paper cutout. What parts are the cutout parts?
Okay, the paper that's part of the cutout is mostly the black parts are like part of the frame, or the color parts I just kind of cut out. So like the blue, dark blue parts are like part of the hoodie that I may cut out into little lines to see if it's actually a hoodie. And the TV part, I actually cut that part out and try to make the buttons. And the no signal part is also cut out. You can see in the green.
Nice, thank you.
You're welcome.
And did you use an X-Acto knife?
Yeah, I use an X-Acto knife. The same thing as the first one.
Thank you so much for sharing. If there's any more, if there's not any more comments or questions, we'll be moving on to the next artwork presented by Danny.
Devin, are you able to present this slide?
Sure, I can take over this one. It's titled Robbery by Leander Hall. Her description is, many episodes took my favorite characters and I abroad or underwater as mermaids. In an ironic, surreal watercolor painting, I kind of mashed those two ideas together. I'm like I really like this one because it almost reminds me of a big game of Play Minecraft in a biome where there's a lot of desert. It really brings you into the scenery. If you want to elaborate on like how you came up with this concept, feel free. Is the Leandro here?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I just scrolled through. I don't see the name.
Oh, that's all right. Still a really nice painting to appreciate. The black figure in the back, I was really curious about that. But glad they were able to submit.
Yeah, Laura, I guess, is also Leandra's teacher, and Laura shared that Leandra is not here. But that she created this for their unit about surrealism.
Well, surrealism.
Okay, so
yeah,
we look at the
like
next
they were able
one.
to share. Yeah.
Okay, so this is from Devon Sawyer. So his title is Brought, and we like to explain more about it.
Yeah, cause yeah, I can definitely explain. You see the play button in the middle. It's meant to be an animated. Oh, you can show it. Oh, it doesn't come too clear. It's all right. Those two characters, Skinner and SpongeBob, they're meant to like collide with each other as if they were in space. But my idea behind it was just to involve memes, and which I do feel like we're a big part of the youth culture within the past few years. And the 4 or 5 memes I added here were so I wanted to show my appreciation to the creators who came up with them and put together this piece.
I have a question. On the bottom right, is that a character from Lazy Town?
It is. Oh, it honestly means a lot that you guys can recognize what I added in. That's supposed to be Robbie Rotten. The meme is We Are Number One. It's a song. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
I'm really glad you added that because like I know very few people who like watched Lazy
I can
Town.
also explain the other one, bottom left.
Yeah.
Yeah, the show itself is definitely nostalgic. So really brings it all together.
Can you repeat who it was on the left? Because I think you got cut out.
Yeah. It's supposed to be Will Smith from his iconic line, "Ah, that's hot." I don't want to do a close impression of it. I'm really bad at it, but you guys should look it up. It's a really good, really funny meme. It was from think 2018's a YouTube rewind, and that's how he starts it off. And it's really so that is my appreciation. I can go through the rest. SpongeBob here isn't. I don't want to just add SpongeBob. It's for SpongeBob here in itself is me. But the song that I added from the Pictionary game, Ocean Man, that's also a big one, and that's supposed to represent the moment at the end of the movie. Skinner and Chalmers, they're from the meme Steamed Hams. I'm sure you can recognize. If you do recognize it, he's holding the burgers in his hand. And the meme Shooting Stars, another song one of my favorites. I love it so much. And that also was why I added the animation, because with the meme, people are usually folding in space. So yeah, Willie want to put it out there. I'm looking at the chat. I appreciate the compliments.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Lazy Town was definitely lit.
All right, so nobody has any more questions, we could go to the next category, pop culture. So I'll pass it to Lizette.
All right, thank you. All right, there it is. So this collage, I believe, is by Ashmal Martinez, called Me, Myself, and I. This artwork represents fashion in the 2000s. This artwork is called Me, Myself, and I because I love old-fashioned clothes. Yeah, I also like old-fashioned clothes. I like your artwork. It's very vibrant. Your collage is like nice. I do see some things that most of us, like when we were younger, also used to get. It's just I don't know. I'm speechless for like a piece like this. If Ashmel would like to say anything more about her piece, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name.
Yeah, so I get the inspiration of this because now with TikTok and all social media, many people are using it to remember back in the 20s or in the 2002 where I born. So I get this inspiration of that, and also I love remember things that are make me happy. So that's what my inspiration, and I use PixArt and Pinterest to get the frame.
I guess I'll take this chance and ask my question. So I'm curious, like, if it took you, or like, probably if you could round up a number on like how long it took you to actually search up all these like images.
I did 3 of this type of collage. So in each one I spent almost kind of half an hour to make the stickers and do the frames.
Excuse me, everyone. Can I just say something, a comment very quick? My name is Lionel, and I am Ashmel's teacher. And I'm very, very excited, very proud of your participation here. Thank you for the Bronx Museum to be able to, and the Teens Council to coordinate this. And I think Ashmel represents one of my desires as an educator and as an artist myself, to be able to create an entire curriculum to focus in the combination of arts, culture, and also media. So this is part of that process of our program and the program that I have developed at Ellis Preparatory Academy in District 10. Okay, so thank you very much, and thank you, Ashmel. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for showing your support by coming here and also shouting out the school. We love that.
Absolutely. Also, the principal was here, Ms. Norma Vega. She had to step out, but she also thanked all of you for setting up this amazing opportunity. Thank you.
Um, any more questions? Otherwise, thank you for your time, both of you. I'll be passing on to Sammy.
So this is called 2020, and it's by another teen council member called Bianca Nueve. No, wow. By Bianca. Apologies, I can't say her last name. So she's not here today, but I guess if any other teen council members remember what she talked about for this, please add in. And then afterwards, if anyone wants to make any comments or ask any questions, or well, not questions, but comments, and then please do say.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, okay. For Bianca, I remember she put like albums, like I don't know if you could see, but it's like Adele and Lil Wayne, and I think even like Tyler the Creator and Childish Gambino, and even movies like childhood movies. So like, and even board games. So yeah, so I feel like she was just trying to like recreate, like go back in time and show us like the like pop culture, basically like the top hits and stuff like that.
Devin, do you have anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, I was just going to try to clarify what, try to remember from what she said about her project. Top left, I see albums. On the top right, I see movies. And bottom right, I see shows. Bottom left, I see board games, all of which are very nostalgic for me. So I think she did a great job.
I could definitely agree. And I don't want to take time to like read what Ashley put, but if anyone wants to see what she said, because she made a nice comment on this art piece, then please do go in the chat. But otherwise, we'll be moving on and passing it back to Alvar.
All right, so the next artwork we have here is from another teen council members. This is their artwork. So it's Mind of the 2000s by Ariana Marie. And I like this artwork, because it has one of the most classic things, like J Balvin's probably best album from 2013, La Familia. And then we have the school metro card, and then something that my mom still gives me to this day, or if any Hispanic can relate, El Viva Poru, Vicks Vapor Rub, Chuck E. Cheese, and yeah, that's probably it. I'm gonna open it to questions, and Ariana, if you have anything else to say about your artwork.
Yeah, basically this is like my first time going back to Photoshop or creating another Photoshop project in like 3 years. So I had a little difficulty running around it, but I just kind of involved things that were personal to me and some specific things, not only things that had to do with my generation, but also things from my culture. So of course the Vicks. And also like in the top, I don't know if you can see it, but it's next to the kid cuisine. I know a lot of people, well, some people may relate to this, where it was like you found this like box of cookies that your grandmother had somewhere in the house, and you're like, yes, I'm about to eat these cookies. You open it and it's a bunch of like sewing supplies. So I definitely put that in there because I just remember that disappointment throughout my childhood.
She froze.
Seems like Ariana froze, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure where she left off. Oh, her face just moved.
Are you back?
Ariana, you had frozen, so we didn't hear your whole statement.
Oh, I'm sorry. My internet sucks. Wait, what was the last thing I left off on?
The sewing kit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ingrid.
Yeah, that's where you left off.
Oh, yeah. I just said like I wanted to add things that I felt like were personal to me in my childhood, but also hopefully a lot of other people could relate to it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of weird how everyone had that cookie container and it was never full of cookies. It's just weird how that's a universal thing.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, like maybe like all the grandmothers just had like a meeting and they were like, you know, why don't we just use this as like a container to like store things for?
Are we ready to move on?
Yep. I'm hearing many robotic sounds.
All right, now I shall pass it to Ariana.
This artwork is from another one of our teen council members. It's untitled, but it is by Ashley Melendez. She just texted in the chat. I really like it. I think it makes me, my immediate reaction to it is that it makes me feel like comforted. I don't know, like watching Boomerang with the Lucky Charms, it feels like typical Saturday morning for me. I really like it. Definitely hits the mark on nostalgia. Ashley said this represents what I remember doing at a young age.
I just want to add that I definitely could also relate to this because like if it wasn't for her in a way, I wouldn't have been able to remember that show. And that was one of my favorites because me and my sister would just kind of sit on the floor, have this big screen in front of us and just like absorb all this like laughter and excitement and happiness. And I guess like my question is, was this drawn? Because the first time I thought this was digital and I never got to ask.
She said,
Go on.
she said, my dad would watch it with me. I painted it in a large canvas.
Definitely think the cereal box came out right. Almost perfect.
Yeah, it definitely fooled me. And I guess thank you, Ashley, for taking the time to like respond to that through text.
All right.
Okay, hey everyone again. So this piece of work is by
I put on my video.
Kayla Johnson, and it's called Mob Psycho. So it reads, "This artwork is my favorite show, and it means a great deal to me because it helps me to stay calm amidst what we are experiencing in the world now with the global pandemic. Not being able to go to school, not being able to go swim training, not seeing my friends, and not being able to graduate from middle school with a ceremony, and not being able to attend my senior trip. Also, it helps me escape from reality and all the illness and deaths in the world now due to the pandemic." What I personally like about it is I like how you included your culture in it. I could see that it's like anime, and I really like the color. Like the color pops. I could see like I'm gonna call it an explosion. I don't really know what it is, but an explosion like coming out of his hand. I just really like it. So if you have anything to add about your painting.
Yeah, this was also another project that I had to do, and it was basically something about draw a poster of your favorite show or your favorite book. And my favorite show right now is Mob Psycho 100, and basically it's this kid who has psychic powers, and he's different from everyone, so he's not like very popular and stuff like that. And it's a Japanese show, so that's why I put it like in Japanese instead of like English, because I thought it was going to be creative. And
Yeah,
it's
it definitely
Mob
is.
Psycho 100 and not Mob Psycho 1000. So
Okay, well, it's really pretty. So if anybody has any questions or comments that needs to be answered, there's a lot of people in the chat saying that they love it.
thank you.
Thank you, Kayla.
So yeah, if we're ready, we can move on to the next artwork.
All right. So this one is titled Harrowing by Liz Makoff. Harrowing is part of the same drawing project as Siren, where I drew inspiration from the then contemporary e-boy fashion movement, featuring a heavy emphasis on stripes, vibrant colors, and dramatic makeup. I can't say I'm familiar with the e-boy fashion movement, but I'm familiar with e-girls. If you could elaborate on what an e-boy is, that'd be nice. If you're here. Is Liz here?
I don't think Liz is here, but we can see also their following work. So they submitted 2 pieces, which was this one and then Siren as well. And if you want, Devin, you can also read that one as well, yeah.
Siren by the same Liz Makoff. Siren is a part of a project illustrating various clothing designs inspired by the contemporary e-boy fashion movement, which features a heavy emphasis on stripes, vibrant colors, and dramatic makeup. This is definitely fitting with the other one, I could see. I should probably look that up. What is the e-boy? I'm so curious.
Emo.
But nonetheless.
Like an emo style boy, like they wear black clothes, it was like chains. Like how she kind of represented like the black clothes, and like it's the new trend, like basically now, I guess. Yeah.
It's new. I'm surprised I haven't heard a word of it, but wow. I'm trying to look into it more. But yeah, both are pretty beautiful art pieces. I wish they were here to speak more about it.
The Google definition for e-boy is slang that combines the words electronic with girl or boy. Generally, the label represents people who have a large presence online and tote a specific style influenced by skate culture, goth, K-pop, and cosplay.
Thank you so much for the references. We love getting a bibliography and annotated perspective of artwork.
Definitely. So yeah, we see a lot of compliments in the chat. All appreciated.
Oh my God, this is mine. Okay.
Move on to the next one. Oh, it's yours. You gave it away.
Okay, so my art piece called Time Travel by me. So basically, I didn't grow up in the States. I actually grew up in Ecuador. That was my first years there. So I remember seeing Curse the Cowardly Dog, and it actually put this thing. I love horror movies, and I actually like didn't make me scared like when I watched Chucky and like other stuff. So like I feel like it was my first thing of like scary stuff. And then I love Gravity Falls. That's my favorite cartoon from I think it was on Disney XD, and I really loved it. And it kind of encouraged my passion now, I like investigative journalism, and he kind of did like this investigative and like creepy stuff, and I really loved it. I loved the detective work he did, like Dipper Pines, he was the main character. So yeah, and I kind of like it's called the Mystery Shack, so I kind of did my own twist and put time travel, since the theme was like nostalgia and like going back in time. So I put time travel, and yes, and I use acrylic paint. And yeah, if anyone has any questions for me, I'd love to answer.
I guess could you hopefully I'm using the right word, elaborate more on like design?
Honestly, the sign I just like looked up like a kind of like a sign on Google, because I wasn't like it took me a while to like paint and draw this, so I kind of was like, you know what, let's just do whatever sign I did. So like yeah, I just put chasing you back to the past. So yeah, I feel like that's much about the sign. There's not really anything. And
I guess just to add my second question real fast, did you have trouble like writing that? Because this seems like it's very small, and I know I would definitely have trouble.
Yeah, it was really hard. I had to use like I use Sharpies. I don't know, like kind of pops out, and like acrylic paint for this. So yeah. And I'm really like I'm not that used to acrylic paint, so it took a while to like even like get the grass right, so even the trees. So like it was really hard. But yeah.
Thank you, Erica. So we'll move on to the next person.
Can I speak for her? She actually sent me her little.
Okay, yeah, sure. Thank you.
All right, so her title, she can't be here. She's also a part of the teen council. It's the title Snacks by Jessica Morocho. So she said, this painting doesn't need much of an explanation. It speaks for itself. When thinking of my childhood, all I could think about is where the countless treats that I used to devour and still do to this day. I think the beauty of growing up in more than one culture is the endless amount of snacks and food that are at your hands.
Are there any snacks that are recognizable to folks?
Of course.
Which ones? Write them down. Shout them out.
Takis.
Lunchables.
Teddy Grahams.
The Capri Sun, for sure.
Oh, I definitely know that milk.
Yeah, like
I want to comment on how like she mixed kind of like more Americanized snacks with her own cultural snacks, like Lunchables and Teddy Grahams for me. I kind of just resonate that with the States, and then she included like Gansito, Abuelita, which is more personal to her, and I really love that because, you know, she grew up here and she lives here, but she still takes from her parents' heritage and her own heritage.
And Ariana, I don't know if you can see, but she has the cookie box from all the Stowage Kids.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Amazing. Thank you. Such great love in the chat. We're going to move on to the next one, which is the last one of this category.
Pass it on to Lizette. She wants to explain.
Thank you. The next one is called Obama by also a teen council member, Bianca Nieves. Unfortunately, she isn't here, and yeah, it's a funny submission. I like it, although I can't relate since, you know, but yeah, for those seniors here, you know, this is meant for all of you.
Big clap of hands if you graduated this year. Woo! Congratulations.
We move on?
Yes.
Yes.
Sammy?
Next category is spaces and places. So the first one for this is called World Civilization Pathways. I honestly do not want to risk saying this name wrong, so I apologize, but you know, everyone can see it. I'm gonna just read what was written though. It says, this painting reflects the pathways of world civilization and the experiences of immigrants as they get to new places like New York City. I guess just to kind of say that I relate on this because I'm originally from South Carolina. So it's like first coming here to New York City definitely brought like a lot of somewhat in a way joy, because I felt like I was definitely experiencing something new. And I was like, you know, this is me going places at a young age, even though I only moved a few states over. But I guess if you are here, please do add anything you would like. If not, then, you know, everyone could please make some comments if you want.
Tammy, excuse me. Yeah, so Suleiman Traor is a student of mine as well. He cannot join us today because he has some issues accessing his email, but he's very excited, and he will be very excited when he gets to see this. Also, he had to be relocated, you know, in the past like months, and it just has been a little bit like difficult for him to just be settled in one place. So yeah, but I will definitely deliver this message and the recording that we get for today. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's understandable.
He actually has another additional
Hope he's
piece.
doing all right.
Should I just read this as well?
Yes.
It's called Mama Africa, and it says Mama Africa is in reference to my memories from home. I'll just say this real fast is thank you as his teacher, like saying his name because I had trouble with that. And thank you also for commenting, but if anyone else would like to say something, please do add.
Getting a lot of love in the chat. Composition is beautiful. This reminds me of all the paintings in my home. My mom is Cameroonian, so all the paintings were like of African women with their headdress, and all the headdress styles that you have. So this is a really very beautiful depiction of that.
Yes, so Suleiman is originally from Guinea, West Africa.
Oh.
Great. So we're going to move on to the next one.
Now I'll probably pick this up.
All right, so this is my artwork. It's titled The Dream of Adventures. And basically, I drew this car, which is a 2001 Audi A6. And it used to be a car that my family used to own previously up until 2015. And I decided to draw it because it had many memories. It was a vehicle that got me to create my past memories. And this was like a physical tank. I thought of it like it had like beige leathering, it had everything, and I just really miss this car. And I went through a lot of time to just redraw it. I got up until 4 different drawings, and this is the 4th one, the final one. Just like mixing around, sketching it over, doing different things just to get it right. The gray color on the car is a Sharpie. I just wish I had a different type of material to use, like paint or something else to use, which would have come out much better, but I just went with it and I'm like, let me do it. The street itself is made out of acrylic paint, and I just thought, let me make the memory lane, last exit type of thing, just to show that I'm about to enter like a different course instead of, you know, like modern life and just go back real quick. But yeah, if anybody has any comments or questions.
I love this art piece because like I have a family member who like I feel like a few years ago he had to give up his like Lincoln. I don't know if you remember Lincoln cars, or like the black cars, or like what kind of fancy. He had to give up, and he was actually crying while giving up the car. And I feel like a car has like a lot of resemblance, and like and everyone's like, I don't know, like if you ever own the car, like it hurts sometimes to give it away, to like upgrade sometimes. But yeah, I kind of feel this like memory.
Yeah, when we had to exchange it, like my mom was in tears. She was like, "¿Por qué estás haciendo esto?" I'm like, "It's gotta happen though." But yeah.
I have one question for you, Alvar.
Mm-hmm.
Who's driving the car?
Oh,
Are we driving to memory lane? Is it invincible?
Yeah, I didn't get to drive it myself, unfortunately. I was too young. But let's just consider it's a ghost. Or nah, I'll just consider the car stopped right now, just there as a picture that I recreated. I'll just consider it that way.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to take a moment to say that it looks like we may run a little overtime. We do have a few artists to go over, and we are on the last category. So if we have not gotten to your work yet, I apologize. We'll try to do that as soon as we can. Thank you.
Okay, now I'll pass it on to Ariana for the next artwork.
So I think this artwork here, the caption was switched around with another one. So I do apologize in advance for this one, but I know this is called World in Your Hands, but I think the description is for another piece.
Yeah, I can get the description. Yes. So, World in Your Hands. This artwork is about capturing the moment and taking risks. Life is short and death is inevitable, so it's important to enjoy life while you can. It is also important to reminisce on life and be proud of what you've done, which can lead you to feel nostalgic.
I can definitely appreciate the realistic view of like the idea behind the artwork. Personally, I believe people like don't really think about how like things end. And so for her to like put it into like a visual representation of it, I think it came out really nice.
Thank you. Hi, I'm the artist me. So I think during this time now, it's important to realize that life is short and anything can happen. As we can see, no one expected this. So I think it's important to grasp life, you know, by the hands and do what you want to do, live life the way you want to live it. Don't focus too much on the past, but take time to reminisce and be nostalgic, but always look to the future and enjoy the present.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, I love that message.
Thank you.
Yes, you're getting a lot of love for sharing that message. Thank you.
Thank you.
Move to the next piece.
So this piece is by Jennifer Guaman called Liberty. She says, I was thinking about my culture, my roots, about what I loved the most while growing up. Folkloric dance has been one of my favorite moments. Dancing to the music of my country, Ecuador, has transmitted me peace and freedom. Since I was little until now, wherever I am, dance will always make me happy. Dance is art. So I agree with you. First of all, I do really like dance. I feel like it's really beautiful. And I feel like it represented what you're saying, like perfectly. Like the flag behind the country, behind the girl dancing, like it's just really beautiful to me. And if you have anything to add, if you're here, I would love to hear it. So it's not looking like she's here, but yeah, I still think it's a very beautiful art piece. And if anybody, well, I guess we could really move on because she's not really here to answer any questions.
Yeah, she's there.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jennifer, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah.
Hi, would you like to add a little bit about your beautiful piece?
Yeah, I just will say that dance is art. I like dance. I like the music of my country. I like the way of the music transmitted is beautifully. And
Thank you so much for sharing. You're making all the Ecuadorians proud.
thank you. Thank you.
I'm just curious, is so I'm looking at the patterns at the bottom of the dress, is this like, I don't want to say normal, but is this like traditional for Ecuadorians? Dress, I mean.
Excuse me?
I think the question was, is the pattern on the skirt like a traditional skirt or dress that you would wear?
Mr. Lionel, ¿puede ayudarme con eso, por favor?
Sí, seguro. Que si el patrón del diseño que tienes a la parte de abajo del traje que diseñaste, pues hace referencia a tu país, Ecuador.
Sí, claro que sí. Es la bandera del Ecuador.
That yes, all of the patterns are part of the design of the folkloric clothes, but also the background is the flag of Ecuador. Jennifer is also one of my students. Yeah.
Beautiful class, amazing artist. Gracias, Jennifer.
There was one other question. Maria Rodriguez asked, is there any reason why the face is blank?
La cara está en blanco porque quiero transmitir de que en mi familia también aman la danza y que no soy solo yo, o espero no ser solo yo, una de las mujeres jóvenes que en estos tiempos continúan amando este tipo de danza, porque como los tiempos van cambiando, la gente se va interesando en otro tipo de cultura o de danza o algo así.
Except I can translate if it's needed.
Yes, please. if you
Yeah, no,
can.
she's saying that the face is blank. I'm summarizing what she said and paraphrasing. So the face is blank because, or just white because she wanted to represent many people from younger to older generations who still carry on the heritage of dance.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
All right. This one is titled "Cue to an Old Wound" by Sage Neris. Description says, "I did this because as far as we want to see the world has come since the times of slavery, we are still dealing with similar issues today. I believe this relates to the exhibition theme because it shows no matter what decade the world is in, there are problems that we must face and we all must work together towards a solution. Attacking one another is just bringing us all further apart." Completely agree. I think right now is the perfect time for art like this to be shared. If you're here, can you just speak on, geez, I'm sorry, this is, yeah, I really like it. And for a question, I am curious about it looks like almost thorns above the earth. I'm curious what that is. Are they here?
Hi, Sid.
Looks
Yeah,
like it.
Sage is here. Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm just like nervous right now. So, I created this poster because I believe racism is never okay. I think with everything that is, and it is very wrong that we are not all treated the same way. Like for example, like this protest that is happening like right now, it's never okay. It's just horrible for everyone to get treated in a different way because of their race. So it's not good to judge others because of their race.
Agree 100%. I'm sorry that you're nervous. You don't feel too nervous. We all appreciate you coming. Thanks for sharing.
I want to say something. My art teacher's here. She's from Tills Bronx. She has helped me to create art, and Sage is also one of our Tills students. So thank you, Ms. Mota, for being here.
And thank you, Sage, for sharing your artwork with us. This is very timely, and everything you said resonates really well with everything. And like Devin said, we're happy to be that you're here. And I always say, if you're nervous about something, it means you care. So we're happy that you treated this with care.
Hi. Sorry, I don't know if my mic is working or not. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Miss Mota or Stephanie from Twills, and I just have to say, Erica, Jessica, and Sage, y'all are an inspiration, and I am so proud of y'all, and you make my heart happy. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Okay, we're going to move on to the next piece.
Oh, it's me. Sorry. Running through the market, Caitlin Russo. When I made this piece, I was thinking about how I used to go to Chelsea Market with my mom most days after school to get a snack or release my energy. When I was little, I would run ahead of my mom and swivel around the large crowds of people, but now I just walk straight through. Caitlin, are you here? Would you like to elaborate on, I have a question, like the colors you use, why do you use those colors if you're here?
Yeah, hi. I was just thinking about, like, I don't know if anybody here has been to Chelsea Market, but I'm sure a lot of you know what I'm talking about if you're from the city. And I was just thinking about the colors of the market, and like I don't, like the blue part is supposed to be like that crazy fountain. And yeah, just like the kind of copper colors of the tunnels.
Really nice inclusion. I'm seeing a few things at the bottom right and bottom left. Could you identify those?
Yeah, like the great kind of parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a strange perspective, but it's like that's kind of supposed to be like the Hudson River or the streets of New York, and then like the tunnels going through. Yeah.
Definitely see that. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you,
Thank
Kate.
you.
I'll pass it on to Lizette.
Thank you, Erica. So this submission is called Empty Japan Cafe by Catherine Townsend. This empty cafe in Japan was frozen in time as if decades had passed. Painting this picture in 2020 transported me back to traveling and exploring new places. I do have to say, I confused this for a picture at first. It was very realistic. It's just, wow, breathtaking in a way, because the fact that it's a painting, it just really shocked most of us. If Catherine is here, would she like to elaborate more on her submission?
I don't think Catherine is here right now.
Well, thank you, Catherine, for your submission. This is beautiful.
That's unfortunate. I really was curious if this was like an accident.
We'll move on to the next one.
Okay, Sammy, take it.
Sammy,
there?
Your mic is, you're muted.
That's crazy. I apologize. I went through that whole thing. I'm gonna just go again. So it's called Cyclone 1 and 2. Honestly, I think her name is Jeong Wang. It's written saying the soft evening glow is about to fade, enveloping everything on the empty Coney Island, boardwalk in a reddish hollow. The place is saturated with childhood memories, the hot dog stands, the wooden planks of the boardwalk, the colorful ice cream parlors, and of course the cyclone. I just want to make a small comment saying I really like both of these pictures, but I favor the one on the left a lot because of the way the positioning of the clouds. Like, this was a really nice angle, and usually with most pictures you can't make clouds be where you want them to be. So I think she definitely took this at a good time. If you are here, please do make any comments.
I don't think Jiahi Wang is here today, but I see a lot of people in the chat saying like, wow, it's so beautiful. Makes me very nostalgic for Coney Island in the summertime. That's true. Let's all cross fingers that we'll be able to do that at some point in the summertime during the hot days.
Wouldn't that be nice?
It would be great. We can envision ourselves through the pictures just right now. Can't you hear what are they called? Those birds that are white? Seagulls.
Seagulls.
Okay. All right. We're going to move on to the next one. This is by the same artist.
And Alvar will be talking about this one.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to say the previous one was amazing. The picture on the left, both pictures. It's like one of those moments where like it's like a random image because, as Sammy said, you can't you can't position the clouds yourself, and that was just like an amazing picture. But yeah, sorry. So this one is titled Diner Blues, also by Jiahe Wang. And in this image, my friend Isabel donned a vintage outfit that was entirely thrifted. She sits at the table of a small diner in Soho, waiting for her order of bacon cheese fries on a Sunday. The vibrance of colors in this one is incredible. Just like the green table and then the blue background. Just like the setting is one of those, and I think it's really great. And Jiahe's not here, but if anybody has any comments or questions.
I feel like at first we debated a lot on this picture because like we didn't know how it will like it fit with our theme. But like at the end of the day, like the vintage clothes, like the diner, I feel like that takes us all kind of back, and it's like a cool, and even like the light in the back, it shows like it gives us this nostalgia. So like I really liked it.
Appreciated. Thank you, everyone. And then we saved not, what is it called, the least one?
Last but not least.
This artwork is called The Adventures of Casey Rose by Lauren Makoff. The quarantine has been a time of reflection for me, and I have spent a lot of time wandering around the city. This takes me back to when I was 13 and my parents let me walk around the city by myself for the first time. I enjoyed this newfound freedom thoroughly, spending whole days finding new nooks and crannies of the city. While the circumstances are quite different now, I still enjoy the exhilaration of seeing parts of the city that I have never seen before. I really enjoy this painting. I think it says a lot, not only about New York City, but also, as Lauren mentioned, kind of just like this point of individuality that person found within themselves. Because I remember the first time my mom let me out by myself, I was like, yes, I'm going out in the city by myself, I'm grown. But yeah, it definitely brings out like themes of exploration, especially in New York City when there's so much you could do.
Was that?
I wasn't too sure about the.
Go on.
Sorry, yeah, no, I wasn't sure about the choice and like the line work and stuff like that when I first saw this one, but I'm looking at it closely. You can almost see like a gradient of detail in the artwork from the top right to the bottom left. The empty space was kind of confusing before, but when you look at the top right, you can see that they took a lot more time to make it look more detailed. I can appreciate that. Plus, I can also appreciate how imperfect the lines are. It brings it more humanity. So, congrats. Thanks.
Yes. Ta-da!
Thanks for coming, you guys.
Thank you.
I just want to make sure everybody here is aware that the exhibit is now officially open. So you can access it on the Bronx Museum's website, bronxmuseum.org. There are links to it right on the homepage, or you can head to the exhibitions tab. And we're really excited about it. Thank you all so much again.
Thank you.
Thank you to all the
week,
artists
everyone.
that participated. Please unmute
Can I say
yourselves.
something?
Yes, absolutely.
Just for like the people that are Spanish speakers, I just want to say muchas gracias a todos por venir y a sus profesores y profesoras por apoyar a sus alumnos y que todos ustedes son excelentes y tienen tanta creatividad y espero que continúen con esta creatividad para el futuro. Entonces, muchas gracias por estar aquí.
Unmute yourselves. Release the mute button.
That definitely gives me inspiration to learn another language, Alvar.
Hey, Alvar, come through with the bilingual.
Thanks.